Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah. Yes, Cheryl. So you thought I disappeared? No, I did not. The reason, it's a long story. Now, I've been wanting to do this video after I was invited to see this new sensational Unfriended sequel. I don't know if it's a sequel, it's Unfriended the Dark Web. Little me, nobody got invited by the production designer of this Unfriended sequel, The Dark Web, to this premiere. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm all cool and pretend to be somebody and get to shake hands and well, hey, the movie cost you $20, so anyways, I cannot turn it down, and I have the reception afterwards. I got pretty close to the red carpet, even though I was wearing red, but nobody invited to interview me, so I decided to interview myself. But the weird thing is, my phone went crazy when I first tried to do the little review afterwards. So I don't know if that spirit of the dark web came upon the phone. I have to keep rebuking it. The guy says, so what had happened was, I'm just using a humble little phone, and you understand about low budget productions, and now you can shoot the whole thing with your darn little iPhone and Samsung, and that's what I happen to have, Samsung. So you're welcome to donate to my new Samsung funds, because I'm going to be needing a new phone. But right after the movie, my phone was going through this auto dial mode. It was like dialing people, and then it was sending messages like clips from YouTube and trying to get me framed. No, that's part of the movie. That's the writers. He's talented, I would say, marvelous, thinking. I'm sure he spent a lot of time researching this, and as you know, or the writer is also the director, and I spoke with him, and I think he did have a little Q&A before the cast and crew showing Steven Susko. I guess he's the brain behind this the Unfriended Dark Web, because as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, the first Unfriended supposedly did well and it was very low budget. I'm speaking from filmmaker point of view. You want to make it for as little as possible, but you don't want your picture to be like an orphan, so people can just hijack it, just like what they do, hijack these traffickers, and hijack people and then put get an underage child into their hands. This is like the Stalinists that they were doing this. It was working against the people for ages, and they're still using this tactic by putting separation of children from parents. I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry for veering off. It's so totally ridiculous. It's not just saying Pastor Tim. I mean, I love Pastor Tim Clark from the Church on the Way, but I could not believe that he was also deceived. That he says that we have to have compassion. Yes, I agree, the compassion of salvation in Jesus Christ, but this has to do with the ploys of the enemy that's sending their Trojan horses and using this so-called the weaponries that was conjured up against us, against the civilization, is by destabilizing all the third world countries. And George Soros, don't get me wrong, he did. Listen to me. He funded the so-called these boats, these little speedboats, $500 million last year alone. Even Italy says we can't take them anymore. So there's literally invasion. They're all military-age men that's invading Europe. The question Michael Savage posed is very true. So if it's ISIS bringing the child, as everybody has a child, they said no separation, they all automatically become citizens. Isn't that fantastic? What about our own people? So I want to say to you, Tim Clark, you're doing damages, even out of the goodness of your heart, to your own children. How would you like it if we say just send all of them? If you've never been down to the border, you should go down there, because you can see that people are dead and killed and buried by the traffickers, the coyotes in the desert, right in Texas. That's why Alex Jones even challenged this, sorry for veering off, this Alexandria Cortez is supposed to be a baby darling interview by every news outlet that it is the Salvation No Border. Oh, do away with ISIS, the immigration enforcement, custom enforcement. You have no immigration, no custom. You have no country. So how many you want to take from China? 50 million? Do you want to take 250 million from South America, from El Salvador, from Ecuador, and from Somalia? I'm just saying, this is all hocus pocus. It's all bullshit. It's really bullshit. It's about our survival of this sovereign nation. We will have no nation if everybody comes here with their handouts. I mean, Alex Jones even talked about this. Is very true. That so-called these charities, and they're not charities, they're business. They keep driving the wedge between my country. They drive the wedge and the right to bear our sovereignty, not just bear arms, sovereignty. Because if you have any sanity, you will not allow people to jump over your wall. I said the wall. We need a freaking wall. Wait in line. Everybody wants to come in here. Wait in line like everybody else. But instead you say, so what's this? Oh, you have no compassion? No, these people have fucking flat screen TVs down there and they're playing freaking volleyball and every kind of sports, and it's all franchise, the tactic of these so-called charitable businesses. Hey, I have nothing against Catholic, neither, but they're the charitable so-called these foundations. There are businesses, and even if you hear them like so-called the what was it the organizations for the illegal to they house them, they get per head. Like the refugee program, and they get so much money for so-called settling them by signing up because they don't speak our language, so you have to give them an interpreter and sign up for our welfare, which we are not able to bear for the next 500 generations. And now we don't have a country because we keep flooding them, that's gonna give all these so-called the globalists. I don't want to use the word liberal because that's insulting to the good-hearted people. They're liberal. Your good-heartedness are being used against you and against me. It's okay that you're blinded. They can just go to your homes. I'm just saying that you should not put us in bondage because your blindness and because of lying, I say CNN, Jim Acosta, the blood will be upon you of our children because you're flooding in with MS-13 gangs and all these, they're coyotes and drug dealers. They're flooding into our country. So you're saying anybody who shows up with so-called child, we don't know, verify whose child is it. As long as they show up with a child, they get citizenship. Is that what you're saying? Anyways, go back to the movie. I'm just like, I'm really ticked off and it's extra hot because these scams. Another thing, thank you, Jim Morrow was in Indiana and got me this shirt. This is before the election, 2016, Donald Trump. So Trump is a patriot. And he's not a politician. That's really exactly why we elected Trump. We don't want no fucking politician. And we want somebody who want to get us out of this freaking mess of globalists from Obama, Hillary Clinton, that took billions of dollars. It's just a shame that how much money they've taken even from Haiti. So in the name, they're just always, what they learned that in the name of the kids, it's all about the kids. Then California also, they're using these names. Carbon footprints. You're not supposed to have children, but we can import them. We should import all of them. But in the meantime, we don't want you to drive. I just learned about SCAG, S-C-A-G. This the unelected board that has all the power. People who sits on the board has power. That they are fulfilling the Agenda 21, and what's the best place to fulfill it? To get more freaking illegal to flood in here. You need a fucking ID to go to anything to go board on a freaking plane. But you have no right. You have no right to say, hey, we want to make our votes count. No, we're gonna flood your votes. One of you, my vote, flooded probably by 10 of these. They automatically register because they allow them to drive. So the road is crazy. And now the so-called this SCAG board this is what I learned. This board and the so-called Agenda 21, they want to, in the name of environmentalism, get you out of your cars. And that's why the 12 cents extra per gallon tax is not going to stop. It's going to go up to 65 cents according to them. So you'll get out of your cars and make everything a bike lane. What happens is what you call, they get you out of your homes by these I'm not kidding, I seen it happen, this so-called this warfare of burning, and these are not natural fires that has been set in California. I mean, I was here last year, so so-called these what do you call the wildfire, they're not wild. I mean, either they're man-made because they're flooding in with, the people, we don't have houses no more because you're giving it to people who do not belong here because I have 10 kids. So I get automatically citizenship, welfare, EBT, and then they have diseases that are known. It's killing all of us. And now all the feces on the streets are being washed down every Tuesday. They hose it down but it doesn't go away. It's in your freaking drinking supply. It's in the ocean and the pipes, and we're polluted by Mexico. So I'm just saying, this is really hellish condition. But on the other hand, I don't know why this so-called the Hollywood pandering to the left, because they have their own dirty laundry. The Illuminatis, they want the power, they want their pizza thing, the Pizzagate, the pedophile, they want to keep their children or molest the kids, keep them in bondage and cover all this up. I just heard this guy named Isaac Cap, I think that he did some interviews of the behind the door scenes or a party with some of the Hollywood stars, and he said that Seth Green actually showed him this is where they kept him, like in Malibu in his homes and behind his secret walls of the bookcase. I go, oh my God, this sounds like a movie. But it's not. We're living in this nightmare, for crying out loud. How do we get out of it? I mean, I need wisdom. I need the intervention. And I need you to completely be done with all these hocus pocus smoke screens and lying spirits. I mean, even in the church. I mean, look. The church is becoming a dumpy place. We're in Van Nuys. I mean, it used to be a nice little town. It's a dump now. I'd be afraid to go to the church. So what I'm trying to say is your good-heartedness is being used by the adversary. And I want, such as, I guess my liberal friends, even Pastor Tim Clark, I want you to be aware. No, we don't. We don't need to be polluted by all these so-called third world refugees and everybody that's flooding in to our border. We don't have a wall. So imagine your homes without a wall, and then you'll have 20 people outside, and because they have kids, you have to let them in and feed them and house them. How would you like that? How is that going to affect your children, your ability to pay your bills and your rent and your homes? And if every one of them squats in or hold into your yard and feces everywhere every day. I just, you know what I'm saying. I mean, everything sounds noble, but I don't know the logic. The logic is that we're being invaded, and you guys, you need to wake up. And it's not good. These globalist liars, they just want to destroy our country so they can get a penny for a dollar. I mean, pennies for a dollar. That's what Joe Soros does. And he's brought down countries by flooding in. It was Somalian, these so-called refugees, so that he destroyed the economy. But he's short, so he buys them short. He buys towards the future, like he did with this Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. He made a few $100 million. That's chump change to the guy. By buying short, because he see the future. He saw that they knew this so-called this Las Vegas shooting. I never believed that was done by Paddock. He was, and just fantastically, even the names, they didn't care. They wrote a script. Paddock, you get that, the Patsy thing. So I don't know. I just get so upset. But I'm talking about filmmaking. Hey, I don't care if you you're giving me a hard time or whatever. But I believe I am right. I believe it is right for you to ask for sanity to come into the situation. You cannot be so dumbed down while the Trojan horse is at your door. Oh, come on in, and then you get slaughtered. I mean, this tactic has been used for ages, centuries. So for crying out loud, we should make a movie about that. But talk about movie making. I mean, then you get away with nothing. I'm serious about this. So I don't want to be ashamed when I say go shop for Ghost Cat. For example, I mean, people see me coming and go like, oh, what kind of money can she have? That's actually great. If they're not using the train, for example, if I went to Fillmore, it's $3,000 a day. Whatever, if you want the train to be running or if it's parked, you don't need it to run, you just want to shoot inside the train, the car. And I happen to have a scene where I want to have the train because this now I'm going to use your nice liberal, feel sorry for me, victim from China. So this victim, I played the part, thank you, and I don't need you to either encourage me or discourage me. I mean, my confidence is like, hey, it doesn't matter. Somebody said, oh, you're looking this, you're looking that. I don't really care because I wrote, and I believe that I am the part and I'm doing the part who was a aborted child. Who, when I say aborted child, it means that it's not tissue. Okay, so she was aborted because she was unwanted, blah blah blah, and her spirit descend to abyss. And well, I don't know how accurate it is but it's just a fantasy. So the Dark Web, the big kahuna who runs the abyss, let's just say, I don't know, it could be Satan or whatever, but we're making it a little lighthearted, who runs this so-called the catch-all for these innocent souls that come down because of one reason or another for sacrifice. It's basically human sacrifice. So they're all happy, but they give her this endowment so she can ensnare, destroy family, ensnare people, being a temptress and all that sort of way. But then they send her off to, anyways, I gotta keep this, the rest of the plot a secret. Let's just say she arrived in this little western town in the train. So that's what brings you about my shopping for the train car, the location shopping and what have you. And location shopping for a cowboy saloon because she ended up in this little honky-tonk cowboy saloon doing this go-go thing. And then we have the Stoner Bro band and playing songs on the stage. But it, when it goes to the real production-wise, it's all about money, you see, because the dreams are wild and sexy. I mean, it's great. I feel like I have a fantastic script because these are supernatural beings and blah, blah, blah. And also we have hero characters and blah, 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 which I want Garrisonese to play this part. I don't know how it's going to end up. But, nobody knows the future. But I just want to tell you, when I go shop for these locations and things like that, it is real. When you get a permit, you have to get so-called monitors. Their attachment with it. It means that somebody gonna follow you around. A monitor, it means like I went through it when I shot my independent, and just from the point of view of a filmmaker, it's not just a hassle. It's worse than a pain in the ass when somebody follow you around and say, for example, I was in this dam, right? Sepulveda Dam. I was doing a little scene in their so-called Japanese garden. It's like, I don't know, it's cheap, free, whatever. The location manager found it. But, oh my God, $65 an hour, there's 2 monitors? So meaning the monitor, they're just people, they're bureaucrats. They follow you around, they go, oh, you people did this. I'm just using an accent to, to accentuate what happened. Oh, we're gonna find you, raise you up, and then they stop your production. And until they can resolve a certain matter, when they stop the production, you have to know there are people that are standing behind the cameras. Now they're gonna go eat something that you still have to pay them. Not just the camera, the crew, the light kids people. They're bringing stuff in. The construction people. It's not a huge production, but you need all of them. You need a designer on the set. And then he needs to have his painters, because you need painters, and then you need people as I learned from Christopher Davis. He's known for Chris Davis. If you go to IMDb, actually he's contributed so much to this ghost cat. I have to give credit to who credit is due. I'm just saying, he's giving so much direction and everything. The guy is super talented, super duper talented. I'm not joking. If they should give like awards, and he should get awards for set design. I never thought it was such an art. So go back to the filmmaking thing. I gotta stop for a second.